Hello, beautiful souls. This is Elena Fouché. I am making deodorant, and it's so simple. I want to show you how. What am I doing with a chocolate bar wrapper and a pair of scissors? Let me explain. Okay, the first thing you want to do when you're making any product or self-care item, when you're making anything, especially in the kitchen, it's a good idea to get all your equipment together first. The French call this mise en place. It's basically putting everything in place, right? And that's the reason that you do that is so you don't have to think, you've got everything, and also you know what you have and what you don't have. You might start making your deodorant and realize, you're missing an important ingredient, and what a pain that would be. So, okay, this is what you need to get together. Basically, two main ingredients. First ingredient is coconut oil. Now, I would definitely recommend organic, clean as possible, and if you're lucky to live somewhere that grows coconuts, buy it locally to reduce your carbon footprint. Some people can use only coconut oil. I tried that, does not work for me. Some people can though, so if you're lucky enough, you can try this first. If you're lucky enough that only coconut oil works, you're done. Just scoop some out, put it somewhere handy, like maybe a little ramekin, like this, and you're done. Okay, for the rest of us who need more than coconut oil, this is your main ingredient. Oh, and if you're allergic to coconut oil, you can use some other oil. So you can use almond oil or avocado oil. You could try olive oil, though that will give a scent, and maybe you like olive oil. Or you could go the Ayurvedic route and use sesame oil if you're a pitta, which I think smells great. Anyway, you want to use less liquid oil than coconut oil. The joy of coconut oil is that it's solid at room temperature. I guess you could also use lard, but ew. Okay, coconut oil or some oil, main ingredient. The other main ingredient that you want to use is baking soda. This is bicarbonate de soude because I'm in France. The baking soda, not baking powder, baking soda. And this stuff is awesome. Now, a lot of homemade body care products use baking soda, and I actually don't think it's a good idea. I make my own toothpaste, you can see that in another video, and I do not use it in both things because I think anything that we're putting on our body, we're absorbing, right? Anything that's in our skin is the largest organ of our body, and it just absorbs stuff, and I don't want too much of anything in my body every day, and I put on deodorant every day, and I brush my teeth every day. So, you can decide. For me, this works super well as a deodorant. So your other main ingredient is this. If you have those two things, an oil, coconut oil or some other oil, and baking soda, you're good to go. Now, what happens if you're allergic to baking soda or you really don't want to use it? Other suggestions are, now I have not done this, I just, online when I was doing a bunch of research when I first started doing this, some people use apple cider vinegar. Could try that. Another one is lemon juice. So this is my lemon for today that I haven't finished with. So just squeeze out some lemon juice. Both of these things are acidic, so they will break down the bacteria or inhibit the bacteria growth. And of course, what we're doing when we're using deodorant is we're slowing down the smelly stuff, the bacteria. You want to sweat. Sweating is good. I do not recommend antiperspirants. Bad. Sweating is good. Let your body detox. It's a way that your body does a whole bunch of things, including detox things that your body's ready to get rid of. So, plus antiperspirants have all kinds of nasty stuff in them to get your body to stop perspiring. Not a good idea. Well, in my not very humble opinion. Anyway, so sweating is fine. We're not trying to stop sweating. What we are doing though is what stinks or what smells is maybe your BO doesn't stink. Mine does. What smells is the bacteria that gets in this warm and now moist environment when you're sweating and reproduces, and it's stinky. So what we're doing is we're disrupting the growth of the bacteria. We're just helping reduce that so that it doesn't smell, right? So lemon is a good way to do that. Apple cider vinegar, I haven't used either of these. Try them out. Definitely baking soda works for me. So that's what I'm going to use. So that's your main 2 ingredients, an oil and a disruptor like a sodium bicarbonate of soup. Okay, so if you've got that, you're done. You can add a few other things. Now, some people put in cornstarch to thicken it. I haven't done that. You could try it out. Other people use shea butter because it's smooth and it makes it even silkier. And also, if you live in a climate where your coconut oil is not going to be solid, that could be a way to help keep it solid. The deodorant really solid is to use shea butter because that's also more solid and less liquidy in really warm temperatures than coconut oil will be. I will say though, even when I was living in Hong Kong and Thailand, what I would do in really warm places if I was going to do this is I would make it up and then leave it in part of it in the refrigerator to keep it solid and just take out bits of it and use bits of it. Okay, so those are your main 2 ingredients. We will move. The other thing, okay, right, so those are the optional ones too, shea butter, different things like that. Cornstarch. You can also, if you want, add essential oils. Now, you can add essential oils that are good for kind of antibacterial stuff like tea tree oil, though, do you want to smell like tea tree? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Of course, remember that anything you put on your body, your natural chemicals are going to react with it, and it's not going to smell like it does in the bottle. It's going to smell more like you plus this. So maybe you and tea tree smells awesome, or maybe you just like the way tea tree smells. I use tea tree oil a lot. I just don't want to smell like it constantly. Peppermint, really nice one. I use this in my toothpaste though. So when I stop using it in my toothpaste, I might use it in my deodorant. Also really good antibacterial properties. Another one would be citrus, right? So you could do that. Or if you just want to go for something that smells good, like not so much for the antibacterial properties, lavender. Though maybe well, I don't know what the properties of lavender are. It just smells really good. Patchouli, another nice one. But what smells good to you? I have this nice doTERRA mix, which I might use. Who knows? Make sure though, anything that you're mixing in that you are not allergic to. Some people are allergic to things. And note, one of the things that happens is when we allow our bodies to when we're putting all these products on our body, we are essentially dumping in toxins every day. We're loading our body with toxins, and our body has to deal with that. And one thing to know is that when you start stopping using a lot of these products, your body will go, yes, okay, now I don't have to daily deal with this stuff coming in, now I can dump it back out. And one of the things you might notice is you might start pooping and peeing out, eliminating, right, some of the toxins that your body's been having to deal with daily with all this junk you're putting on. And now it's going to send it out. And one of the places that your body will detox is under your arms. So sometimes when people start using these deodorants that they've made, they're like, oh my god, I'm allergic to whatever. This actually happened to me too. Until a friend of mine was like, Elena, maybe you're detoxing. And I was like, oh, right. So something to think about. If you start using this deodorant and you get a rash under your armpit, it's very likely that it's not because you're allergic to the deodorant you just made. It's very likely that your body's going, yes! Woohoo! Now that you're not filling me full of crap, I can actually get rid of it. And sometimes it comes out as a rash, right? Your skin is a great place for you to detox, and especially under here. It's one of the big ways we detox, as well as pooping and peeing. And if you're a woman, any excretion could change, right? So you might notice that your sweat smells differently. You might have a bit of a rash, or your poo and your pee might look different or smell different. Very normal. So that is often true when you're using any natural product, especially if you have been using products that have chemicals and junk in them every day. Your body's going, oh god, and then it's like, woohoo! I can finally get rid. Okay, so right, other things you're gonna need. Now here's the tool. That's the ingredients. and the rest of the things is tools. So we are going to melt the coconut oil. So you'll want something to melt it in. I'm going to use this little pot, which I use for tea, because I actually like having coconut oil in my tea. It's kind of like bulletproof coffee. Anyway, it's nice. If, however, you don't want oil in your pot, you can use a double boiler. You can take something else, maybe a glass mason jar or some kind of jar, put water in here, and then put the jar with your coconut oil in the pan, right? So it'd be like taking the coconut jar and sticking it in here and putting water in here, sticking this in here, heating it slowly, right? And it'll heat the coconut oil like that, and that way you won't get coconut oil on your pan. If you don't want to heat this whole jar, though, of course, find another jar that you can put coconut oil in, and then put that jar in here. Hope that makes sense. Okay. You will also want some other container that you're happy to pour the coconut oil in, so that you can mix the coconut oil with your bicarbonate. Bicarbonate this week. With your baking powder. The one handy thing if you do this in a jar is you could, once you heat the coconut oil in the jar you're going to use, take the jar out and then just pour your baking soda in the jar and mix it in there. So that could be another reason to do it that way. I'm making a big mess. That's fun. Okay. Other things you're going to need is, once you get everything mixed together, and it's pretty simple, you just, the most challenging part of this is getting all your stuff together. And then you just melt the coconut oil, mix everything together, and then you stick it somewhere to firm. So you want to be able to apply this. So you're going to put it in something to cool down and to get into a shape you want. So the first time I made this, what I did was I used a muffin tin. And once I mixed everything together, I poured it into the muffin tin. And then I had this deodorant that was this nice shape, right? And then I could pick it up easily and use it easily. And I also used a little muffin paper. So I poured it into the paper, and then when it finally cooled, I just took the whole paper out. And that was really nice and useful. So that's a good solution. One thing about that, though, especially in the summer when the coconut oils gets more liquidy, is it got all over my fingers when I was putting it on. So I used a tissue or a little cloth to pick it up and put it under. So you might want to designate a little cloth to use. And then I stored it. I had one in my bedroom and one in my bathroom. I made two of them. So I put the little muffin-y shaped thing in here. Boom, done. And I stored it in bedroom and bathroom. You could also, store one of these in your refrigerator and have the other one wherever in your bathroom or whatever. Okay. Now, here we are, finally, back to my beautiful chocolate wrapper. I'm going to attempt this time to recycle a deodorant container, and because I find it super annoying that I'm gonna throw this thing away. So, but they may. Here's the problem, though. The bottom, right, that the deodorant goes in, and then when you spin the deodorant, this comes up and pushes the deodorant up. It's got holes in it. So I'm gonna stick this in here and then pour the liquid deodorant in, and it's just gonna come out the bottom, right? So I'm gonna attempt to, cut out a little circle that's the right shape, put it on top of this, and then stick it down in there. And I'm gonna cool the deodorant a little bit and get it so it's a little bit thick, and then pour it in here and see what happens. It might be a big, huge mess. Anyway, it's fun to try. So, pause the video, which I'm gonna do too. Go get all your stuff together, and I'll meet you back here. Though I do recommend, actually, that you watch the whole video all the way through before you make your deodorant, so you know what's going on. And if you think you want to do this now, go get all your stuff, and I'll meet you back here.